The Pro Rough Stock 2014 8 Seconds of Insanity Tour stops this week in Louisville, Kentucky for a very special event with the backdrop of over 60,000 young people gathered for the annual FFA convention. And we present to you for the first time ever the world's toughest rodeo presented by Pro Rough Stock. It's the 2014 Louisville Duel in the Dirt.
Welcome to PRS Louisville, Kentucky.
Welcome to the Broadbent Arena at the Kentucky Exposition Center. We'll be here for the next 4 rough stock programs as we feature the best of 84 rides during this 2-night live event. Hi everybody, I'm Justin McKee alongside PBR Finals bull rider Cord McCoy and world champion bareback rider Kelly Timberman. And Kelly, this is a groundbreaking event where 2 great associations are coming together for big rough stock.
Yeah, Pro Rough Stock and World Toughest have known each other for a long time. And a few months ago, Dave Moorhead and Tommy Joe Lucia came to us with the idea of co-sanctioning event, World's Toughest, in conjunction with PRS Pro Rough Stock. We're bringing more money, giving a chance for guys to gain extra points to our coveted PRS World Championship. And on top of that, instead of doing the format that we normally do with the Final Four, it's going to be the 2 format for the finals, just like World's Toughest does, so it should be fun.
Yeah, an interesting twist right there. And, you know, speaking of an opportunity to play in front of this crowd, they're going to get wild because this is the FFA, and there's a lot of energy in this house.
This is the National FFA Convention, and what a great organization. There's over 60,000 youth of America here representing the FFA here from all over the country, and I do believe in the future of agriculture.
Yeah, with a faith born not of words but of deeds.
You've heard it too.
Shout out, give a shout out to your old FFA chapter.
Yeah, Tupelo FFA chapter. Yeah, Mr. Ake and the whole crew is here at Louisville, so good to see him.
Kelly, how about you? FFA?
Absolutely. I went all the way through. I was a steer jock growing up, you know, so I showed steers, horses, sheep, pigs, you name it.
All right, and I was the state president, Labette County High School FFA. Hello, Mr. Wiggins, Mr. Frazier, Mr. Peterson. We had 3 ag teachers, big department there in southeastern Kansas.
Good to see all them blue jackets out there tonight.
You bet. We're in good company. Let's get to some pro rough stock. First up in the chutes, Tanner Ross of Granite Falls, Minnesota, a 2012 PRS World Finalist, and he is on Oni. We're going to see a lot of Dave Moorhead bucket animals here.
Oh, man. You know, one thing I love about Tanner is he's got those good classic starts. Toes turned out, gets a hold of those animals.
It's a good thing he did right there, Kelly. That Alaman left right out of the box. He didn't wait too long to start the ducks.
Look at that. You know, that kid's pretty athletic, too, because through that horse wanted to whip him out there. He just stayed square, kept shooting those feet to the front end, in contact before those horses' front feet hit the ground, and that's a really good spur ride.
And an 83 score to start things out here on RFD TV. As we go next to B.J. Scott, here's the number 2 rider for the world's toughest rodeo. He's from Iowa on bar 506 Red Gold.
Yeah, this horse really bucks. This is kind of one of the horses in the pen that guys really want to draw away from, and that's kind of the way it goes about 90% of the time when they draw that animal. She's a bucker.
She's a yanker. That's what she is. Talk about some power out of there.
Man, good start, though. She just jerked that rigging away from him because his feet were in contact. He might have a sore arm or something because as soon as she went to pulling on him, he just kind of got into that hand and got off of there. And if he would have really shot those hips up under that arm, he would have made something happen.
Looked like it grazed his left shoulder or arm. Hopefully he'll be all right as we go now to Colt Cataf of Martin, Tennessee. Shuck and Jive is the name of the horse.
Go on, Colt. This is the kid still in college. Man, did he draw a good horse. Set up right in one spot, ripping those feet. Jump up and throw your hands in the air, kid. Woo, what a ride.
Well, I mean, it started good, it finished good, and it was good all the way in between. Here on the Rocky Replay, you can really take a look at the detailed spurt. Look how far up he's reaching with those feet.
But not only that, look at that horse sitting in one spot, kicking over her head and giving the guy all the opportunity to be 88.5 points. What a ride, Cole.
Well deserved. We'll go now to Tyler Waltz, the number 5 man in the world's toughest rodeo, Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania.
Mamma mia, this is one of the rankest horses I've ever been on. Strong, droppy, hard to ride. Look at him go at her. He's setting his feet, fighting through it. Man, That kid deserves a score. Give him a score. That horse there is at least a 24, 25 horse.
Man, it is going to be big. Tyler Waltz doing what he needed to do.
Man.
Gapped open and going for it here.
Look at the drop, folks. When they talk about drop, that rigging from the top of the ride to the bottom of that jump. She's trying to yank it away every single jump, and that kid just kept stabbing him to the front, trying to beat that horse, make it ride. Woo!
Big score, 91.5 hard-earned points by Tyler Waltz of Pennsylvania. As we go now to Brian Bain. Here's the number 5 rider in Pro Rough Stock. He's on Feather Duster.
And he was going from the get-go. He knew he had to be a little bit over 91.5 to make the win, but as soon as that horse broke the gate, she kind of run down on him. It didn't bother him the slightest. He's going for first. He set his feet, and right there, he's spurring. Look at the contact up to his rigging handle, back in the front end, trying to beat that horse to the ground. Man, what a nice horse to draw, and just a great spur ride.
89 points for Brian Bain, and the Bain train continues to gather up some gold here. 89, Jared Keelan, what a great year. He was first at Salina last week on our show with a 91. That's how he finished off. Showgirl is the one he has tonight.
Great start, solid, ripping his feet to his handle. Looked like his foot almost got stuck in the flank strap there. Man, that horse weakened towards the end, but only thing I could fault at it all was, just keep that chin down, Jared. Keep that chin down, keep driving. Look right here. I bet you that flank strap catches that leg. No? Yeah, right there.
Oh, it is, up on the left leg.
Over his arm, over the leg, and that's probably the only reason his chin got up is it kind of yanked him back a little.
81?
A horse weakened.
Well, I think the judges are getting a little bit different view than we did. We're going straight at him, and we see what a great spur ride. When the horse, on the other hand, I don't think was excelling that much. So I don't think it was his ride that caused the 81
Very
points.
good. All right, let's go Stephen Peoples, 18th in Pro Rough Stock. Needs an 89.5 to get in the top 2. Only 2 will move on.
89, he's looking for 92. As soon as that horse broke, he goes to spurring, trying to beat that horse to ground, get those feet up past the rigging handle, set him back.
Kelly, that was impressive. That wasn't the easiest horse to spur, and you talk about going to town from the word go. That's an impressive bareback ride.
If he would have been a little bit more solid on that start, he wouldn't have been trying to beat that horse. He would have been already in contact before that horse's front feet hit the ground. That really is the only thing that hurt him, because you see right at the end by the pickup man, he had the horse set up and was ahead of him.
Well, he got close, 88 points, but what an outstanding long round. Brian Bain versus Tyler Waltz. They'll go head-to-head in the final round. So let's hear from our long round winner, Tyler Waltz, who had a 91.5.
I knew that horse, and she's kind of a hard one to get by, but I knew if I got by her, I could win first, and that's my personal best. It's fun to come back there and all your buddies tell you good job, and that means the world to me.
So congratulations to Tyler Waltz for his personal best score ever. And coming up next is bull riding. And last week, Super Dave Samsel inched a little bit closer to the top of the world standings. Can he take yet another step closer here in Louisville? Welcome back to the Broadbent Arena in Louisville, Kentucky. Now it's time to see who will advance in bull riding.
It's kind of interesting. We've got the number 2 bull rider in the season standings in the world's toughest, Nick Leica, and the PRS's second place rider, Dave Samsel, in the same field tonight. And we'll see how it all stacks up tonight.
First up tonight is the guy who's 13th in the world's toughest season standings, Freeman Yoder from Zering, Iowa, going up against Disco.
Well, see old Disco kind of moving ahead there, making a square. It finally just wraps it up. That is good riding right there, because what you're thinking is you practice that move to the left, but you can't make it yet until that bull commits. Did good just having patience and waiting on that bull right there.
Good job with his free arm, too, on the Rocky replay. Keeps it out in front of him.
Post it up.
Good bend right there at the belt, using his upper body as well as his strength in his lower body.
You know,
Great
a lot
balance.
of bull riding is kind of whoever makes the least amount of mistakes seems who to win.
Yeah. Good form there, 80.5 here at the National FFA Convention as we go to Brandon Davis on Hot Fuzz of Three Hills Rodeo Company.
Brandon over from Arkansas right there. Oh, right there in the gate. Another one away from his hand, just chopping it up good. It seemed like momentum. You see a guy ride right before you, it always seems to help. It's a confidence. It's like he comes out there, knows he can do it too.
Momentum is a great thing if it's going the right direction.
It's effective, especially in bull riding, because the mind is just so powerful. You've studied and worked out and got ready for it, but your mind has to work.
84.5 for Brandon Davis. As we go to our next rider from Coffeyville, Mississippi. This is the number 25 rider in the Pro Rough Stock Series, Ross Burney, and he's going to try to stay on no conflict.
Another one away from his hand. The bull kind of went down his gate there, kind of gave him a tough shot coming out of there.
Ooh, belly roll at the end. And that's what's going to be his doom.
Just when you think it's going to even out there for Ross, you think it's over. Maybe he's thinking the same thing I was.
You know, we've talked about bull riders and Hail Marys trying to get to the whistle. That bull just had a Hail Mary. Right here it is in his eye. Can't buck him off to anything else. Try that.
There it goes. There's Sunfish right at the end, and that'll cost him there. Ouch.
Let's go to the world's toughest rider who's had a great year this year. Nick Leica is the number 2 man. Leica is going to try to ride Impossible Dream.
Oh, yeah. Leica, he's a good rider, real patient, rides bulls good. I actually traveled with Nick just a little bit, originally from Michigan. So you would never see it, a bull rider like him coming, but good bull rider. Has so much patience. Either way, he'll wait on the bull go first, and then he'll just follow him every jump.
Shoot. Like it, you'll love it.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You, 86 points for Nick Leica. Super solid. Not only was he patient, but he was patient and aggressive. That is an interesting but effective combination in bull riding. Here's John Young, the number 4 rider in Pro Rough Stock. He's had some injuries. He was the number 1 rider earlier this year out of Iowa on hard times.
Oh, when you're riding bad, you got to be forgetful real fast. Oh, he opened up and went to him there. Oh, I don't know if that's the best bull to open up on. See the bull stepping forward? Every time he'd open up, he'd just get him off the rope about another inch. He'd open up, and, man, he had to just jump further, it felt like.
Tough break, and 6.6 isn't long enough. We've already had 3 scores. Only 2 guys will move on. As we go to John Mincy, rides on the CBR, Championship Bull Riding, West Plains, Missouri. Now, right now, an 84.5 and an 86 is making it in. He's on Predator. West Plains, Missouri is getting happy right now.
Yeah, good ride right there. That's good. You know, the bull is just like the one that John Young had, is not helping him too much with kick. So he's kind of pushing to the front every time there because the bull's not helping him up there. Good ride right there. That's impressive.
Needs to be higher than 84.5. Yeah, he takes a lead for the go-around. 87 points for Mincy. As we go to the number 2 rider for the Pro Rough Stock Series this year, 43-year-old Dave Samsel on Dark Vader.
And then there was one. Dave Samsel, I hate to have this guy behind me right now because he's taking a run at a world title and he won't let go, I'm telling you.
Man, just when you think he's gone.
A little bit of show-off there, too. Samsel ain't afraid to show off just a little bit.
No, man, he's got reason to. Look at that, he's gone. No, he's not. Nope, he's gone now. No, he's not.
Balance,
this one will get him. Huh? No, it doesn't.
Oh, he's got him with the left foot, and he's got him with the right foot, then he's waving at the guys behind there.
Oh, yeah, he'll win the round. 88.5 for Samsel here in Louisville, Kentucky at the National FFA Convention. So there you have it, the head-to-head competition. John Mincy, I don't know how old he is. He must be barely 18.
There is an age spread there.
There's an age spread of about 23 years right there. As Dave Samsel, the 43-year-old, in his final season. He'll retire at the end of the year. Let's find out what he had to say about winning another go-around.
Yeah, I was talking to the stock contractor about my bull, Dark Vader. They said he'd kind of scoot out of there and blow up and go around the right. He did the exact opposite. He kicked pretty nice out of there and spun to the left. Then he kind of quit me, got tangled up in the ground, is a little deep, and then he kind of gassed it at the end, and it worked out.
Well, that's what a pro needs to do, make adjustments on the fly. Super Dave, congratulations. Now, Saddle Bronc rider J.J. Elsher's been doing a lot of that this season. He's been in the top 2 of every event during the second half of the PRS season. That's where he'll need to be next. Welcome back to the Kentucky Exposition Center here in Louisville. We're inside the Broadbent Arena for day 1 of the world's toughest rodeo presented by Pro Rough Stock. And now it's time for Saddle Bronc riding. And Kelly, our roster of Cowboys features top 12 riders from both circuits.
It does. Cody Burkholder is a red-hot rider from the world's toughest and is in 8th place. Also, we've got a rematch with our 2 Final Four riders from last week, Curtis Garton and J.J. Elsher. But don't count out Isaac Diaz, our champion from Everett, or Portland champion, Jade Blackwell. It's going to be good.
Let's get to it. And remember, only the top 2 advance to next week's head-to-head showdown round. Cody Burkholder from the world's toughest rodeo going up against Wolverine.
Man, good start, really good ride across it, and Wolverine just kind of cuts out right there at about the 6-second mark.
Hey, that's tough right there, Kelly, because the horse kind of weakened on him, but he weakened with the horse a little bit.
Yeah,
that's when he's not going to get bucked off. I think you just cut loose and get at least all you can out of there. When the horse slowed down, he just slowed down with him. I know the horse wasn't helping much there at the end, though.
Absolutely.
Well, it's an 82.5, but only 2 will move on, so that very likely will get shortchanged out of there. Ryan Rodewald, the United Airlines pilot out of Mount Dora, Florida, who's number 21 on the Pro Rough Stock, is on short trot.
He used to travel a lot with Dan Mortensen, and he's got a little bit of that same style. He spurs about every horse he gets on. He's an older guy up there, too, and man, what a good bronc ride.
Oh, that's a sweet horse, too. That little horse just kind of stuck his head between his legs. Same jump every time, giving him a prime opportunity to cut loose and spur.
Those judges want to see those feet in front of that horse's shoulder before his front feet hit the ground, and he was just a little bit behind all the way across. They're going to cost him a bit in the score.
He takes the lead with an 83-point ride. As we go to New Zealand's Curtis Garton, he won the National Circuit Finals in Pro Rodeo a year ago. Number 6 in the Pro Rough Stock.
Go Kiwi! Setting his feet up above that shoulder, had a good blow out of there, good start. Horse was really wanting to track fast down the pin, but heck, he was ahead of that horse all the way.
He did. He was going to him there. Those last jumps, he wasn't helping him, but he was getting all he could out of there. Good job, Curtis.
I like it when those horses really blow out like that. Just starts it off right off the bat, Got to be a little scary in the bronc ride.
He was 3rd in Salina last week. He needs to move ahead of that 83 that's leading the round right now, and he's going to get it 85.5 for Curtis Garton.
See a lot of those bronc riders limping after it's over. The back of that saddle is hard wood, and you hit your ankles off that about 3 or 4 times, it'll make you limp for a while.
Here's Jade Blackwell out of Rapid City, South Dakota, the number 12 rider. He's on the bubble for the Pro Rough Stock Series, and he is going to spur one up here.
Make you want to get your bronc saddle out right there, Kelly. I
yeah,
tell you.
The level of difficulty on that horse just wasn't there. That's a really, really good to ride horse. Kind of stuttered step right there, and I think that's about all they could hamper on that guy, because a good horse just a little bit easier to ride than the others.
Well, and the judges certainly will reflect that in the score, 83.5. Now, he is 2nd right now behind the 85.5 with Garton as we go to Isaac Diaz, the number 11 rider in Pro Rough Stock. He was 1st in Everett with an 87.5 and a 92.5 combo.
Well, I'd hate to be sitting 2nd with this guy left to ride to make the championship round for sure.
You're going to win first. You got a spur like that. He never missed a lick, was ahead of that horse every jump, lifting on his rein, looking down the barrel, setting his feet. Man, this is a classic bronc ride.
A perfect shot where to put that rein. That horse is coming straight to the camera. He's going right up over his neck, sitting right in the center where he's got a lot to lift on right there. Great ride.
Look at him really push on that rein.
He does.
Over there.
You got to push over there and get under it like he's doing right there. Good clinic.
87.5. It was no doubt for many of us that he was going to take the lead with one more man to go, and it's the guy who has dominated Pro Rough Stock Series this season. Number 1, J.J. Elsher, 6 event wins, and he's got high and tight.
This is a lot different horse than the others that we've seen. Strong, really wants to bail out of there. And, the last event or last weekend when we were at Salina, J.J. was having a hard time getting his feet up there in that start, and you could see the same thing. He just didn't have that contact with those spurs.
Oh, that horse is called high and tight, but he looked long and loose right there. Now, he something to keep a hold of his saddle that might even ran back a little bit there at the end.
That's very uncommon, because that's JJ's 2nd 0 no score in two rides.
I'd have lost a big bet there.
Isaac Diaz and Curtis Garton will go head-to-head on the Wrangler Championship Showdown round. Let's go to our long round winner, Isaac Diaz.
There's the more eliminator type that they'll duck back and forth or take really long jumps ahead. And then there's the kind like that that just have a lot of kick, just circle around. There's a lot of timing there. And the way our saddles are designed is for horses like that. It's up and down, and as long as you do your part, you're going to win something.
Now, still to come from here in Louisville, we'll look ahead to the matchups in next week's Duel in the Dirt Showdown round and hand out the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight and the John Deere Big Buck of the Night. Here's where we stand for next week's Duel in the Dirt Showdown round in the bareback riding. Kelly, take us through it.
And coming in the bareback riding, we've got Brian Bain matched up against Tyler Waltz. Now, the two horses in this event are as even as you could possibly get. I think that Catnip's got a little bit higher average than Mars, but it's going to come down to the spur riding.
And as we take a look at bull riding, Cord,
what an opportunity for Super Dave Samsel right here. McKenna Wimberly is in this round, so he has got a prime opportunity to step up to the plate and hit a home run.
and in the saddle bronc riding, Kelly, Isaac Diaz and Curtis Garton.
They've got the same thing matched up as in the bareback riding. Two horses that are as identical as you could possibly get, so it's going to definitely come down on the shoulders of the riders.
Time to award our Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight of the night. Cord, who do you like?
My Kershaw cutting edge performance has got to go to Super Dave Samsel. What the stock contractor told him, and I'm telling you, the veteran came out in him. The bull did the exact opposite, and he come on out and did a cutting edge performance to win first.
There's nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw. Now, let's hand out the top bucking honors with our John Deere Buck of the Night. This award goes to our top performing animal. Kelly, who do you like?
My John Deere Big Buck of the Night's going to go to Mama Mia, hands down. When you're looking at the criteria, you got 4 criteria you look at for a great horse. You got jump, kick, difficulty, and direction change, and that horse right there had it all. That's my John Deere Big Buck of the Night with Mama Mia.
And the Big Buck of the Night is sponsored by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. Next week, it's a high noon showdown as the top 2 riders in each discipline go head-to-head to crown the champions from day 1 of the 2014 Duel in the Dirt here in Louisville. For Cord McCoy and Kelly Timberman, I'm Justin McKee. See you next week. We'll do it again here in Louisville.